Now, let's be very clear. There are 5 different parts of Australia that have these border rules, but between them, they have a grand total of 2 people in hospital. There are no people in hospital with coronavirus in WA. There are none right now in the Northern Territory. In Tasmania, there is 1. In Queensland, there is 1. And as for this talking point that the international borders are the reason why Queensland businesses are being destroyed is total bunkum. Let me show you some figures from just one airport, Brisbane Airport. We got these today. International passengers that were coming through in May of last year, 477,000. Internationally, it's now down to 5,000. Sure, a big hit. But a way bigger hit would be the more than 1 million more people who are Australians who travelled to the Brisbane Airport in the month of May last year. 1.4 million people. It is now down to 89,000. This does not include Queensland's other major airports like Townsville, the Sunshine Coast or the Gold Coast, where in the quarter between July and September last year, more than 1 million people were domestic travellers through that airport. Stop changing the subject. Stop hiding behind other leaders' inaction. Now, I know that potentially a virus bomb was let off by those protesters last weekend. But there are now 20 days left in this month. We will be, this weekend, 1 week from when those protesters were first there. We are told that it'll take about 2 weeks to work out whether the virus has spread because of those protests. Well, that brings us to not this Friday, but the following Friday. National Cabinet meets every one of those Fridays. Every state and territory leader must go in front of their populations tomorrow and say that barring an outbreak as a result of these protests, the 1st of July is when Australia will be free for all Australians. It is also the time when we need to get rid of all restrictions on funerals. Now, I get it. Social distancing is here for a very long time, until there is a vaccine, until there is a treatment. People can be trusted to react appropriately, and if they don't, local tracing from everything from how we're testing sewage water through to the app means we're going to be able to get on things as fast as possible. At the height of this, there were 7,000 hospital beds that were freed to deal with coronavirus. There are currently 2 cases in the states that are currently locked up, and nationwide just 20 people. Tomorrow night, I'm going to that border to talk to the people who the Premier is screwing over. It is the Premier in Queensland who I am going to focus on, but my rage is just the same all over the country. And the excuse that, well, everyone else is doing it is garbage. The excuse that the businesses are being destroyed because of the international bans is just not true. Real people are who I'm going to be fighting for. We will do so on the ground tomorrow night.